back with my friend Luffy. This is the second time here. I am holding the leash while we're walking, but he is actually doing quite well. Last time he was a bit more nervous, and today he's checking in on me here and there, but he's definitely a lot more comfortable than last time. Our main thing is dogs. There's obviously, of course, a lot of manners and skills that we want to teach him, but when it comes to dogs, people, social settings, that is very much, of course, socialization, building that confidence, working our way there. So we, of course, take it one step at a time, and we're going to focus mostly on socialization. If we can do some training here and there today, that'll be amazing. But for now, socialization, comfort around people, especially dogs. So we'll see who we can run across, walk across, come across more so, and take it from there. But so far so good. He's definitely feeling a lot more at ease than last time, so who knows, perhaps that might actually make him bark even more because he's feeling a lot more comfortable with me, so he has maybe less things to worry about compared to last time. But we'll definitely see how we do. Okay, up to a good start. Got some more dogs over there. We don't want to start too close either, but that was good. That was not a reactive dog over there, but they're pretty just excited all over the place dog. And our friend Luffy here did quite well with that. And he sees the dogs that are over here now. For the most part, he's more distracted with marking than anything else. Come on, Luffy, let's go. Let's walk a bit more. Come on. There you go. He sees him again. There's also a dog behind him. Let's see if he'll see him. Okay, we just got a little jump, but we'll take some space. I know. He was really close to you. Careful. There you go. Really close to you, but just a little jump. So that let me know that right there, which was about 10 feet or so, 10, 12 feet is his limit, is where he felt the need to do a little something, but not a whole lot. Nothing more than, hey, you're a bit too close, but he didn't vocalize it. He just did a little jump there, and that would be a good indicator that he's about to do more. But that's why I gave him some more space. We're off to a good start again. A little bit closer to the dogs. We're not gonna get too close because they don't know yet that we want some space. But we're just gonna be close. We're not gonna get too close. We're just gonna be around here. He can just watch them. He can just be around them. And if he walks away, that's gonna be huge. You see that little side eye, those little check-ins with me, like, hey, I'm not the most excited about those dogs, but you're gonna help me out here. Yes, there's no pressure, I'll help you out. We can go back. I'm keeping the leash very loose. I don't want to force him to do anything. He clearly heard that dog. He feels some type of way about it, but not necessarily bad, just enough to, okay, I'm gonna just stay here for a second, figure out where the barking is coming from and what's going on, and that's about it in terms of whatever dog is barking over there. So once again, we're just gonna watch. It's only if he feels curious that we're gonna move forward. He's stopping here because he feels that it's a safe enough distance, and I am happy with that. If he gives me a little eye contact there, perfect, we're gonna walk away. With a lot of dogs, they get reactive, or to the point where it seems like they're aggressive because they do not know that they can make any other choice. Here I am showing him we can get close. To whatever distance that we get close, we can always walk away. And it seems like this distance is very easy. Then good, let's have it be easy, and to the point where he wants to close it because it's too easy. But we'll start slowly. We'll start doing baby steps to where he feels like, you know what, maybe it wouldn't be so bad to get a little bit closer. And you see he checks in with me a little bit. How are you? And we're gonna walk away. Good. Again, at the back. He's curious. This time he's moving forward a bit, which is good. I think he feels that dog. His name is Utred, and the Chihuahua mix is Nina. They're very exciting. They're very playful. They're very easygoing. So I'm letting him stay there for a bit. The leash is loose, but yeah, if he wants to walk away, he can. There's that excitement there, that little bit of pulling that he was doing towards them. Could have been, hey, I'm curious. Could also be, hey, I'm a bit curious, but you know what? Potentially somewhat concerned as well. So I'm not letting him go too far either. If he wants to pull, I'll let him pull a little bit, but not too much. I don't have full trust yet that he's going to do exactly what I would like for him to do. So we're taking baby steps, and as you can see, he's also staying very close to me, which lets me know that he is not necessarily feeling as confident as he could to approach any more than this. But this is good for him. Once again, we're walking near them. He can choose to do as he'd like. He might need a break, so we'll just do one more little walk by where they're somewhat close and he knows that they're close. I'm gonna let him watch to his heart's content, but as you see, he right away takes a little break from it, which is a good indicator for me that, you know what, we might be ready for a nice break here. So let him decompress a little bit. He's asking for space. He sees a dog. He's a little bit interested, somewhat curious, but he wants space. Back. Dogs nearby. He is all on his own, wanting to take space. He's making very good decisions with dogs around. He's making it quite clear that he has no interest in coming near them. And that's honestly where the difficulty lies as far as progress, because it's going to be very, very, very slow, and this kind of progress does have to be on his own terms. We cannot force a dog to feel safe, comfortable, sure around dogs, no matter what. So this is where it's going to take little baby steps for us to slowly introduce him to the idea of maybe approaching dogs, and then eventually to the idea of being close to dogs, and closer and closer and closer. If he is on his own walking away at a certain distance, I have to respect that. If he wants to come closer at another distance, that's great too. But if he is on his own saying, hey, I'm happy to walk away, I have to reward that. That way he will always choose to do that whenever in doubt. And again, that could be whether a dog snuck up on us, or maybe I walked too close to a dog. He will know that, okay, if I walk away, every time that I've walked away for whatever reason, it's led to me getting space. And that's what I want to replace, or to use to replace the behavior of barking or growling or whatever it is that he uses as a way to communicate to dogs that they're too close. I want him to replace that behavior with walking away. And right now he is very much doing that. He's very loudly doing that, very clearly doing that when we come anywhere near dogs. He's very much asking for a space all on his own, and I definitely want to give him that, because it is something that is good, and not most dogs are able to ask for that when confronted with dogs at any kind of distance. Not every dog is able to say, I'm gonna, you know what, opt out of this for now. Maybe later I'll come back and approach a little bit more, but for now, you know what, I'm happy taking space, and space is always good. Dog just came quite close. It was not planned, but they came quite close, and he's just walking on. He's pulling me a little bit, but we're gonna walk on. This is not a distance I am comfortable with. I don't think it's a distance Luffy's comfortable with either, but enough to not feel the need to make them go away. So there was a bit of pulling, and I'm pretty confident that pulling would have led to him pushing towards them, him wanting to make them go away, because he would have been the one getting closer. But because I am not 100% sure of what he's gonna do, and it is a closer distance that we're normally closer than what we are normally used to, I helped him walk away there and then, and that was good. He's ready for us to check out. Maybe we'll be able to do some training indoors, but now I think he's ready to go and take a bit of a break. Right? I know. I see that look on your face. He's going out of his way to really go around the dog. So I have to, once again, really respect that, listen to that, honor that, and give him that space so that he can feel like if ever he's trying to take space, it's what he's going to get. He's going to get to take space, and I cannot fault him for that. For whatever reason in his past or whatever it is, he has learned that he feels the need to take enough amount of space from dogs to feel good. And I want to, of course, adhere to that so that he can eventually start feeling just a little bit more comfortable enough with closing that amount of space. I cannot force that. I cannot rush that. I don't want to rush that. That's where we can get even more reactivity. I want to really give him the time and the right environment, the right safe outlets and environments for him to be able to, at his own comfort and pace, get closer and closer and closer. I think we'll head in now for a good break. Right? Okay, he came back tired from his walk. He seems like he's in a good mood. So we're gonna do some training here. We're gonna start with a sit. Yes! Right there. So just like his pet parents, we're only gonna say it once. Looks like it was a bit tough for him to hold, so next time I'm gonna wait a little bit longer before rewarding. So we're gonna do another sit. And once he looks at me, I'm gonna reward that. God, I'm starting to see what the issue is here. At least with sit. So he's able to do the command, he's able to follow the cue, but his brain is not able to actually maintain it. So that's what his parents were saying, which makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna do it one more time. Sit. Okay, yes. This time I didn't wait as long as the second time, but a little bit longer than the time before. So something that can help with this exercise is also reinforcing him when he naturally chooses to sit. Let's say you're just in the kitchen or just cooking and he, yes, just like here, where I didn't ask him to sit, but he stayed seated after the exercise. So all I did was reward that. Yes, because what we usually want with sit is for our dogs to sit down, but what that also requires is for them to feel calm and relaxed, especially if we're expecting them to hold it. And as they do, we reward that progress, yes. And eventually we can also start adding movement and whatnot. But for now, I think his brain is just having a bit of a tough time staying put. So anytime where he naturally chooses to stay, and I would do this actually without even adding the sit cue, because that oftentimes with obedience training, once we add the cue, they know that another one's going to come next and next and next. So we're focusing then more on the action as opposed to actually feeling calm, which is what helps the sit to be maintained for longer. So instead of me saying sit, I'm going to just wait for him to do it, because the advantage that I have is that he's quite into me now that we've done a bit of work together. So anytime that he gives me a sit, I'll start with just rewarding that, because I know that he's doing it because he's feeling calm, and him making a choice to do it is gonna sink in for far longer than if I tell him what to do at all times, because then he's just gonna do what I tell him and then be off to the next thing. So I want to practice as much as possible where I have scenarios where he does the behavior and then I just reward him for it. I'm gonna just guide him a little bit here just to remind him that we're doing something here, but then I'm gonna let him figure out the rest. Again. His brain just moves very fast, and so it makes sense that he's not able to maintain a sit for very long. But we're still gonna practice. If he's not able to give us a sit, we'll just practice being somewhere. So more like a stay, I guess, but not necessarily laying down. So if ever he does, oh yeah, you see that look on his face. So even though I didn't wait for him to stay seated for very long, he did come and sit on his own, which is what I of course wanted, and it's what I reinforce, especially with someone near him getting up and walking away. He went there. I didn't say no. I didn't say anything. I didn't ask him to come back. That would be way too many things at once. I just waited for him to come back. And if ever I felt as though he can't at all come back and he's way too distracted, I can use a leash. Just like now, there's some sounds there, so I could use a leash if ever that's something that worries me. But otherwise, yeah, I feel like I can trust that he's able to maintain a sit. You can tell that his body language is not necessarily fully with me. He's to the side, so I know that he is not as attentive to me and what I'm doing as much as he could. He could give me more of his attention. So for now, I'm gonna be happy with just what he's giving me now. That's fine for now. Because just a moment ago he was pacing. Now he's just practicing a bit more waiting. So sit requires all those things: to not pace, to wait around, to just be here, to feel calm, and especially for expecting a long sit. So I wouldn't worry about stay or come or down or heel. Sit is as easy as it gets, but then we can add duration, yes, which can also of course help with stay, but then we add duration, which also helps with impulse control and also can help him very much relax. Yes, good boy. But he has to choose to make those choices. We're just there to reinforce. So obviously we probably wouldn't be doing this outside eventually, but we don't start with doing this outside. We do it indoors, and as he makes a good choice, we then of course just have to focus on rewarding that. And then once we know that consistently he does this choice really well, then we can start adding the cue. Otherwise, if we add the yeah he gave me more of his body language this time. I'm really enjoying this. So the more we add the cue, but we're not yet getting the behavior fully, then that's what the cue means. We're not doing the behavior fully. So right now I'm just practicing with him as far as getting the behavior fully, and then I can start adding the cue later on. Yes, fight it, just a piece. Don't be shy. Okay, so he knows I have the treats here. Even if we were doing it with the cue, he would still know that I have treats. And a moment ago he knew that I had treats and he still walked away. So right now he knows I have treats, and I am just waiting for him to remain seated. That's all. And the longer he waits, the more he gets treats. And eventually we can have distractions. We can add different things for him to say, okay, I hear that, but I'm not gonna fuss, or maybe, you know what, I'll look, but then I'll come back. And then him coming back and him sitting and coming back for longer is what I reward. But one baby step at a time. A lot goes through his brain. He's thinking. And I could just tell him to sit right now, but I don't want to do that. I want him to figure out that if he comes back here, there's a nice reward. And he's going to feel good about it. Especially if he's tired. I know he's pooped. But he's thinking. And all this is doing is burning more mental energy. He's thinking, what do I do? What's going on over there? Do I come sit? I heard a knock on the window. What? I don't know what's going on. Well, that knock might have spooked him out a little bit. So I'm just gonna wait a little bit more. Otherwise, I'll just end it at that. Oh, hello, sir. Okay, good job. We'll end at that with the fun one that I'm just gonna toss and say, go find it. Yes. Okay, when it comes to leash training, here's how I like to start. So my friend here, Luffy, is actually quite good when it comes to walking manners. He's pretty good outside. That could very well be because we're still somewhat new to each other and he doesn't come here too often. So that means that he slows down his brain, his movements a little bit just to take everything in. So it makes it so it gives you the illusion that he's actually walking really well. So in the case where your dog is different at home, what we want to do then is go through little baby steps. So little things like this, where just something as small as the door or any kind of indicator that, hey, we're gonna go outside, just go through it and then just practice walking away. Exactly what we would want him to do in any sort of scenario outside, where if ever there's a dog. We just walk away. Then I can, of course, reward him with a treat. Not sure if he'll take any right now because we're doing this. But we can still go through it and give it a go. Plus, he's giving me quite a lot of attention. And of course, I know that it's easy because we are inside there. So that makes sense. He's not taking food because he's not really sure what's going on. But that's okay. He's still going through the motion of what I want him to do and how I want him to do it. He's calmly walking with me in the direction that I'm going. So we'll do this one more time. You see, this time he remained there lingering a little bit longer than before, where essentially he's thinking, wait, the door just opened. We normally just walk out. But instead, we walked back in. So we'll do this again. Oh, he learns quite fast. There you go. So essentially, we're showing him that whenever something is happening over here, it's not about the walk, it's not about being outside, it's about the both of us being together. And this I'm doing with the leash, simply just clipped to me and just walking away. So why it's working, it's because it's, I would say this is probably level 0, level 1, where it's not too difficult. You still saw a little bit of hesitation a moment ago. So it's not like he doesn't care at all for the door. And I don't want him necessarily to not care. I do want him to care, but I want it to be slow in a way where he cares, but cares more about walking with me. You saw there a little bit of hesitation there, not as much as before, but we can also speed things up a little bit by skipping a few levels. So I'm gonna step on the leash here so he can't go out, because I'm pretending that this door is the door straight to the street. So in that case, of course, I want him to stay safe above all. But once the door is open, I'm just setting it up here while he just waits for me right there. Once the door is good, just move it a little bit more. There we go. So once we got the door open, what we can start doing, and again, I'm skipping a few levels. I can try to see if he'll come back with me even though the door is open. I'm not telling him to come. I'm not saying any cues or commands. Again, I want to practice with him just doing the behavior that I want before I start adding the cues, because I want it to be as clear as possible. So there we go. He's outside. He's distracted by the smells, and I don't want him to do anything other than just to walk with me. So I can just take a few steps out, and we're gonna take a few steps in. He's gonna be quite distracted by the smells. Take a few steps out, and then we'll take a few steps in. This time I'm keeping the leash a little bit short. I don't want to give him too much leash just yet. The more he does well, the more leash I'll give him. We can definitely go out, and then we can start heading back in. I'm not holding him with more than 2 fingers here, because I really don't want to do the exercise for him. I want to do it with him. So we'll do a few more. I love that he naturally wants to give me quite a bit of eye contact here and there. And there you go. This is how I start leash training. And you can do this in and out of the car. You can do this in and out of someone else's home as well, in and out of the store. It's really the only criteria here is that it's an environment where you're going through the little levels in a way that's not too difficult for him or you. When I turn off the camera, then he looks back and actually gives me those cute eyes. Huh? There. He caught you. Busted. Busted. He's amazing. He's really sweet. I don't know why anyone would give him up. He's so lovely. He's a good boy. Oh, hi. He's a great boy. Yeah, you.